Hey, welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. What is kale even good for? I have an idea. So here it is. This is some kale that I've been growing. And yeah, it's a beautiful plant. I mean, look at that. You can't complain about the beauty of kale. It's a glorious, beautiful, easy to grow plant, but I really don't care for it. I'll eat it in soups and things, but we're going to harvest this stuff, at least a bunch of it, and we're going to convert it to eggs. Okay, so I've been talking about this kale for a long time. I've been telling you what I'm going to do with it. If you watch my channel, you already know, but I don't care for kale. I don't like it too much. I'll eat it in a soup or something, but I'd rather eat it as something I enjoy. So we're going to go feed this stuff to my my son's poultry, his hens and his guard geese. It's usually best to harvest kale from the bottom up, and it will keep producing for you. So I'm just getting some of these lower leaves here, pulling them out. All right, we'll leave enough on the kale so that it can continue to grow. And this kale will probably continue to grow taller and taller on this stem. So that's about all I'm going to take now. I think that poultry would also appreciate collard greens. So I'm going to trim off some of these less savory looking leaves. And while I don't like them, the chickens will love them. I've got a little perpetual spinach in here that's got a lot of snail holes in it. That might be ideal for chickens as well. We're just going to build a little feast here of greens to convert into eggs. Okay, we have a bucket now, 5-gallon bucket filled with kale, with lettuce, old cabbage, some chickweed, some parsley, some cilantro, just basically all the bad looking leaves from the garden. We're going to convert this to something usable. The kale, though, it's quite beautiful, isn't it? That's nice. But it ain't for me. All right, let's go.
Oh, you're doing much better.
Hi there.
Puppies. Donald.
Hey, Donald. Donald. How you doing? Look what I brought for you. All right, here I am. Let's see what they think about this. Look at that. Look at that. This is how to eat kale. Feed it to someone who likes it. Their laying spots are where?
They love this thing, the
An
oil
oil
pan, and they got 3 boxes. They don't use this box, but they sit behind it. You can see one right there. And then in the corner over there, there's a whole bunch on the ground there.
Lots of eggs. So you have a broody hen, a couple of them. Okay, so here's the update on our sugar cane. It grew for a year. It kind of dies back and then it starts growing again, but it's taller than me. And you can see that we planted 2 rows here And that was back in the early spring. It was almost 1 year ago, February the 15th, that we planted sugarcane from cuttings. And we just laid these cuttings in a trench, and the soil back here is very much clay. It's black gumbo clay, just like our channel name. And we put this in, and it was hard work, hard going. We put two trenches in and covered it with topsoil. Man, that was a hard day of work, but it paid off. The sugarcane came up, and all that labor has come to fruition. We've got plenty of sugarcane coming up, but it's going to take a little while for this to really get established. Although right in here, that's some sugarcane. You could cut that down and that would be real sweet. So yeah, it's working. This stuff will start spreading and build a privacy fence here and take over this area. And the chickens don't seem to destroy it too much. Yeah, that's a cane right there. That's what we're after. Sugar cane. We had a dark variety, an Asian variety right down here, and it didn't do so well. It came up, but it didn't grow much. So I'm hoping that maybe that'll pick up the pace. But all that Florida sugar cane that we got cuttings from, and we just planted those cuttings. Well, that stuff came up slow, but it took off later in the year, and now it's almost 1 year old. And I expect this next year to really fill up this cane patch here. Okay, so what do we have here?
This is my nectarine tree. I just got it maybe 4 weeks ago. And when I got it, it was a big, tall, 6 foot tall whip, about up to here.
Yeah.
And I cut half of it off. So the reason you're supposed to do this is because you want to train the tree how to grow and how to produce the most fruit. And the way to do that, you don't want it growing straight up, you want it bushing out. So we're gonna try and train these limbs. I picked a few, well, there were really only like 2, but this one was already here, this limb right here, or this twig, and there's one growing right off of it as well that is a little bit behind it. They really shouldn't be so close together, but we're gonna let that go. And then when I chopped it here, all of these places where the leaves are growing out now, where you see some greenery, they weren't there at the time. It was just the little nodes, kind of like this without the green, or like these little the nodes right here. And I tried to choose a place to chop it where I saw as many nodes close to the top as possible, because my goal for this tree is to have it maybe this much of it, about what I've been taught is knee high, no limbs coming out, so nothing from here down. So anything that grows from here down, we're going to prune it, but everything that grows here up, we want all of these nodes to grow out and start creating a big nice tree, and we're going to top it right when it gets out of reach. That way we have a perfectly shaped nectarine tree. And I came over here just now to look at this, and I'm real excited because yesterday this was all closed up, this little flower right here, and it opened in the last day, and that's just exciting to see some movement and some growth and activity. All of this greenery has just sprouted in the last maybe 10 days.
So it's waking up from dormancy?
Yes, exactly. It looked like a little dead twig when I got it, but you know, that's what they do in the winter, and as soon as the weather gets to where it's in a good place for it to start growing, I've been really impressed how fast this thing is moving. Every day I come out here, I start to see progress.
Because all of that right there comes from these trees right here?
Yeah.
You weren't able to pull them out with a strap?
I connected them to the vehicle and everything and tried to pull it out, and I couldn't.
Well, I'll bring the Sawzall over here and we'll cut those roots out.
Yeah, we really need to, because I mean, I probably worked 6 hours on this thing, just digging down and around and cutting every root I possibly could. And I thought I got all around, but sure enough, it won't even budge a little bit.
Yeah, those things have been there a while.
Not at all. So, and I got really discouraged because this is just number 1. There's 2 more.
What are you going to put over here?
Cantaloupes, tomatoes, peppers, carrots.
I got a bunch of tomatoes coming up right now. You can have a bunch of them.
Yeah.
That right there, that's a dewberry or a blackberry.
Oh, okay.
So that will grow wild and take over the area, but it's the most delicious berries there. This is the propagation station. My daughter-in-law is doing these house plants. That's all from one plant. So that's it. That's what we're going to do with all our stuff we don't like. We're going to feed it to the waterfowl, to the chickens, and my son just produces tons and tons of eggs, and that's really benefits us too because he shares with the family. And the egg production here is so much that you can't really eat them all. So that's a good way to get some good, those rich golden yolks in that egg, some well-fed chickens. Yeah, that's who likes kale. Like I said, kale is for the birds. Hey, thanks for joining me on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. We're down here looking at the south part of our project here. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on this channel. That encourages us, and we'll talk to you next time. Happy gardening. Bye-bye.